What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to A Different Perspective. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your boy. So I just came across this video, interesting video. It's essentially a ton of NYC, New York women shimping over this dude named Caleb, West Caleb. And we're about to check this out. I mean, he's the typical guy that a lot of females like. He's 6'4", young, good looking, and these women are after him. And what makes it so crazy is these women are posting on TikTok just how into this guy they are, and a lot of them never even met him, right? So it's gonna be an interesting story here. We're gonna check out some of these testimonies, not all of them. But y'all ready? I'm ready. Hey, look, I'm gonna warn y'all now. This is the typical TikTok stuff. So what you know of TikTok, you will see some of that foolishness here too, like this.
I wasn't gonna make a video about this, but I feel like it's my duty as your Asian older sister to warn my New York City girls about this Caleb from West Elm ASAP. So in my recent video, I made a joke to call out this very tall Caleb I went on a date with in New York City, and it kind of went viral, but I kept having girls comment being like, is this the West Elm Caleb? And I'm like, who is this West Elm Caleb, and why do you guys keep asking that? Like, how do you guys all know this guy? I was so confused. But then I get a DM from a Caleb who says he's also very tall, and I click on his bio and it says West Elm furniture designer, and I was like, oh my god, is this him? But I ignore him, as queens do. Then I get a girl DM me being like, oh my god, are you talking about the West Elm Caleb? And I'm like, who the hell is he, and can you please explain why there's so many girls commenting about him? So we first confirmed that it is the same Caleb that DM'd me, and I'm like, oh my god, why is he everywhere? And she tells me that they've matched on Hinge before and that they were texting intensely for a while, and he is like love bombing her even though they've never met up before, like have not gone on a first date. And I'm like, that is the biggest red flag out of all the red flags.
And in case y'all don't know what she's talking about when she says love bombing, is she said that whoever this girl is that was also talking to Caleb said that Caleb was throwing up the love bomb, the L word, the I love you, even though they had never met.
And of course he ghosts her. But the funniest part is this girl sends me a TikTok that another girl made gushing about her Hinge date. And she tells me, she's like, I confirmed using my detective work that this is about West Elm Caleb. And the girl in the video is like head over heels, gushing about this guy, and it's like so giddy. And I'm like, oh my god, I recognize this girl. That used to be me when I was stupid and naive. And I'm DMing this girl back being like, oh my god, do we tell her? Maybe I am jumping to conclusions because I've only heard one story, but I just feel like love bombing is the gateway red flag to all of the other red flags. And if that many girls are commenting about you on a TikTok, that just like doesn't look good. And this is why.
All right, now let's say this though. Let's say this. All right, so why is it that this man is able to get so many women, right? Because he fits the demographic that a lot of these modern women are looking for. For one, he's 6'4". Off the rip, he has the pick of the litter. Off the rip. And hell, I'm not gonna lie, majority of these females that are in this dang on clip, his options are better than mine when it comes to the dating apps.
Why we need that app I just talked about where we can leave reviews of guys we've dated on Hinge, because then I don't have to make this subtle video trying to warn this girl.
Now that's a bit weird. She talked about having an app where you can leave reviews on guys that you've dated. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right, because then that way you know if this person dated this person. I mean, you might want to keep that private. Some people might fool with someone or deal with someone and they don't necessarily want the rest of the world to know that they have been with that person, right? So yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea, but hell, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
I'm just gonna leave it up to the TikTok gods now, and if this video shows up on your For You page and you happen to be dating a West Elm Caleb, consider yourself warned and maybe keep your guard up.
Hi villains, it's 2:15. I have to literally be ready to leave my apartment for this date before 3 p.m. I have like under an hour. That's all to say, this is not what I'm wearing. It's 17 degrees. How am I supposed to look cute when it's 17 degrees? Balaclava off. Okay, so my hands are too cold to do makeup right now. I have this t-shirt from Brandy Melville, which is disgusting of me. You know, the Uniqlo heat tech. However, I have some matters to address. I don't know if everyone's even gonna know what I'm talking about. Like, this is at like 6:30 on Monday. I get a text from Caleb, which I'm gonna insert because I don't really give a fuck if this man lives or dies, if I'm gonna be honest here. He just goes, I'm really upset. And I was like, what happened? This was right as I got tagged in the video. And I was like, I wonder if he knows, even though he's offline. And then he said, like, yeah, someone from work sent him this TikTok about West Elm Caleb. I had a few coworkers message me about it. So the time receipts of this, it's like 6:30 p.m. on a Monday. So then in the video, people are commenting like, is this about Kate Glaven's video? Me being Kate Glaven. So I started getting DMs on Instagram from other girls, which I'm going to insert here. I got a DM from a lovely girl named Kelly, and this is where things just hit the fan for me. So Kelly DMs me and she goes, hey, I know you've been on a few dates with Caleb, because she saw my videos and then saw that video by the other creator and like put together that it was about me. She said, I dated him for the past 6 weeks, sent me a playlist, blah, 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 blah. As you can imagine, I was like, oh, cool. All the shit that I was worried about. Like, he told me he wasn't on Hinge. He deleted Hinge after we were talking. He wasn't on apps, ghosting. And this was like the timeline of her experience with West Elm Caleb was right not, if not overlapping to mine. Now here's where it gets sick and twisted. Kelly saw in my video that my first date with Caleb was on Saturday. She woke up in Caleb's bed on Saturday. She was with Caleb Saturday morning. Caleb and I went on a date at 3 p.m. on Saturday. The audacity of a straight white man with a fucking mustache. The audacity. So as being this the one I think who's most recently seen Caleb, I'm obviously texting him about this like, you want to fucking explain all this? So he had...
I'm over here just collecting data, right? I'm collecting data while being very annoyed at the exact same time. Just hearing this girl ramble. Yo, what can you expect? This dude is out here living his best life. He has the pick of the litter. So why not sample in all of them? This dude is the master player right now. He knows what it is that you girls want to hear, so he's just repeating the exact same thing to all of y'all until he's done with you and ready to move on to the next female. He's a young, tall, good-looking 25-year-old man. And I'm not saying good-looking because I think he's good-looking. I'm saying good-looking because y'all think he's good-looking. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about these females in this daggone video. They're upset with this Caleb dude. Caleb just living his best life. This is happening, young ladies. This is happening to y'all left and right, whether you know it or not. It's just that y'all are on TikTok and decided y'all want to talk about this man that is being exposed, that is out there for the world to see. This is happening all day, every day to women and men all around the country. This isn't that big of a deal. It really isn't. He's dating. He hasn't, well, I don't know if he has, but I'm assuming he hasn't told any of y'all, hey, you're my girlfriend. He can wake up in the bed with a girl one morning and go out with another girl the same day later on that afternoon. It sounds like this is his job. It's not like dating is his career, like he ain't got much else going on to be juggling all these women. Hell, if I was Caleb, I would probably do it too. Get it all out your system. And this is a mess though. Hold on, she's talking too much. The story's not that fascinating. Let's give me another person, please. All right, what this girl got to say?
The way that I rushed to make this video.
Why are you whispering?
I also have a story about West Elm Caleb. So around Halloween, we matched on Hinge, and he was like love bombing to a T, messaging. And I was like, look, like my friends and I are going out for Halloween. Like, why don't you meet us?
All right, now she said he love bombing just because he was messaging her. I don't even think she know what love bombing mean.
So we can meet. And he was like, no, I want to meet in a wholesome way. That was the text I got, and I was like, okay. And so he was like, let's get coffee like the next day or whatever. And I was like, all right. Long story short, I'm waiting online at a bar, and he sends me a full mirror selfie with his face and his everything in it with his penis out. And I was like, one, that's very risky. Two, and then the next day proceeds to ghost me. And I was like, what? And then I deleted it. I'm not that type of person to hold on to nudes like that. And then the next month messages me again and goes, sorry, like I was just afraid that you were going to use me for my body. I was like, huh? I thought we were getting coffee. And so he's texting me about, like, you know, girls see it and see that it's big and don't want anything else, and it get used for my body. And I was like, I don't even know what to say to that. I was like, okay, like, sis, I know how it feels. Like, welcome to being a woman. And then he asked me on Snapchat, and I don't know why the fuck I was even entertaining giving him another chance. We were like, okay, maybe we'll get lunch or something. And I was like, maybe I'll give you a second to explain the audacity of yourself. And then he asked me on Snapchat, and I add it, and then it's another photo of his penis. And I was like, what the fuck? I texted him, I was like, are you absolutely out of your mind? And then he ghosted me again. So that's my West Elm Caleb story. He lives on the Upper East Side. You have been warned.
I'm trying to figure out how believable her story is, because why is her story so different than the other females? Maybe she telling the truth, but I don't know, man. It was different. All right, though. So this little message here is small, but let me go ahead and read it for y'all. I haven't seen this. I was too busy getting left hanging on multiple occasions. Then this person responds, well, for starts, I was nervous, LMAO. And then I'm assuming this is Caleb in the blue. He says, why? From the look of the photo that I've deleted, you did not seem nervous. Oh, so this is that girl. Okay. So this is Caleb responding back. Listen, I'm immediately regretting sending that, not because I wasn't into you, but because it made me seem like I was that kind of guy. Man, if this is really Caleb, and if he's really out here moving like this, then the dude don't seem to have much game. It's like what's going for him is his height and his good looks, I'm assuming. Because this right here is pretty pathetic. Which is something I'm not good at pulling off. You see? Precisely. He telling on himself. When you're dating a man for 6 weeks and find out through TikTok that he is lying to you and dating every other girl in New York.
Okay, part 2. I'm so sorry this is taking so long. I could talk about this for hours after I did a whole synopsis on it. If you're my roommate or friends, you would know. So anyways, this man randomly is like going MIA, and I'm like asking if he wants to hang out. I'm like, hey, you want to hang out? You want to do anything? Meanwhile, he was like rushing me out of his home Saturday, and then refused to hang out with me on Sunday, because he was going on dates with other women.
Yep.
That was the kicker. Going on dates with other women. That's why he was hanging out with me. But in his mind, he just needed the data online with other women. Also, this is no shade at women, because they all deserve to be dated by really great people. Not this guy, but by really great people. Everybody deserves that.
For one, it's hard to understand what the heck she's talking about, man. She's not making a whole lot of sense.
And I hope y'all find love. Anyway, what y'all really came here for was his reveal. But I'm posting this not so y'all can like harass him, but just so you know that he's sus, and I don't want what happened to me to happen to anybody else or the thousands of other women in the comments.
She called him sus. And I don't think she's using that term correctly. I think she's saying sus because he's dating other women freely and living his best life, not because he's into men, because that's typically what a comment like that means.
But this is him. And y'all might be like, Kelly, what? This man? No, this man, he's got a mustache, a butt chin, and he's 6'4". And he'll tell you nice things about yourself that he later will ghost you for. But the point is, just avoid him, maybe.
She said avoid him.
If somebody's a therapist, can they recommend themselves to him? I tried to talk to him, call him out, and call him in.
She is odd. I'm sorry. I can't listen to no more. But she said, I tried to call him and call him out and call him in. Like, what are you doing? What is that? But anyway, y'all, I see what they're doing. They're trying to hold this man accountable for his actions, and to some degree, I can see why. He's out here moving a bit strange. He's tall, he's handsome from what they say, and he ain't got no game. And he just keep using the same played out old lines on every last one of y'all. But hell, if it's working, then guess what? You've been played. So now that you've been played, y'all can go ahead and just walk away from this guy, right? Why get on the internet and try to be like, hey, y'all, don't date this man. Don't date him. He's not worth your time. In dating, you will find out who is or isn't worth your time. You don't have to get on the internet and tell, because maybe he's looking for love. Maybe he is. And maybe he just hasn't found it in any of these girls that are making these TikTok videos, because some of them are kind of interesting. Like, she's interesting. She's a very interesting person. Hers, she seems like she was the most chill, most calm, most down-to-earth one. Like I said, I don't know how true her story is because it's so different than the other girls. I don't know what to make of her. She was talking a lot. That might have been why he was annoyed. And the Asian chick, she's mad cute. She got a real pretty smile or whatever. But I don't know, man. It seems like he's out here living his best life. If all these pretty girls are willing to respond to him and hang out with him, then heck, that's just what it is. He gonna go out here and just try them all, right? All right, so let's hear what she has to end this on.
So all jokes aside, in all seriousness, I want to address how much attention this whole saga has been getting, and I do agree that it has gone out of hand and that people should have never exposed Caleb's personal information or his photo, and now the media is trying to get their share of clicks in using his name. But I do think that the problem is far beyond him now, and West Caleb may have started.
I agree with that. It almost seemed like some of those stories could have been fabricated. It's like the female trying to get their clicks in. Ooh, let me, come up with a story about my experience with the West Elm Caleb. I don't know.
Off with one person, but it's uniting women because they're all frustrated with the behavior that these men are getting away with, especially when it comes to dating apps. And
interesting. So she said that they're frustrated with the behavior of men on these dating apps, when that's not the behavior of all men on the dating apps. That might be the behavior of some of the top % guys on the dating apps who are actually able to get some sort of action out of a dating app. I myself have used dating apps for 10 years. Been on one date. One date from a dating app. And it didn't end sexually at all. Didn't even have a kiss. Nothing. It was nothing special. The majority of guys that are actually able to pull girls on the dating apps look like the West End Caleb guy. Tall, slim, good looking. Those are the guys that are winning when it comes to these apps. So ladies, understand that if you're having an issue with a certain demographic of guy, it's because he's able to acquire more of you easily. So even when the guy like this dude who can be a bit strange and weird and do things that other guys that aren't as tall or good looking as him can do and easily get rejected or turned off by a girl, those girls will still give a guy like him a chance. And he might be a tall, good looking dude, but it's just a disguise, because in the inside, he from what we see here, from what these stories are saying, if they're true, he might just be a L. He might be a lame. He might be a square. You know what I'm saying?
Usually when women voice their concern, they're labeled as overly emotional or psychotic. So I think finally people felt compelled to just expose bad behavior and hold someone accountable. I also want to address this BuzzFeed article that came out today.
And I get that. There's some truth, definitely some truth to what it is that she said right there. Is, all of these females feeling like they're holding this guy accountable for action. As you can see, none of them said that they themselves wasn't dealing with other guys. So, all right, come on now.
That downplays the behavior that was called out and just called them supposed wrongdoings. And I don't understand why a media outlet with so much reach and influence would try to send out a message that it's okay to ghost people because it happens so often.
She's talking about a BuzzFeed article.
And that talking to multiple people at once should be expected when it comes to dating. And that because the context was potentially flirting, that it's okay to receive unsolicited nudes. That's
Pause. Hold on. Okay, so that part about the unsolicited nudes, yeah, that's not okay. You shouldn't be sending people unsolicited nudes. If y'all not having phone checks or having those conversations about nudes, and someone should be expecting a nude from you, then you shouldn't be out there sending nudes. I wanted to read this part up here above her head. It says, clearly the author also did not do any research on the damage love bombing can do to the recipient, even if it never leads to physical abuse. Huh? That didn't sound like it was worded correctly towards the end, even if it didn't lead to physical abuse. That kind of made this statement a bit confusing. I think I understand the direction that she was going in regards to what love bombing can do to someone. You know, telling them that you love them and then you pulling back away from them and just completely ghosting them. So here this person was feeling all this love, this positive emotion, and then you completely yanked that away from them. I think that's where she was going.
that it's okay to receive unsolicited nudes. That's never okay, and that's considered harassment. And yes, dating multiple people at once in the beginning should be expected, but why are we trying to normalize that? In 10 years, do you really want the father of your children to be like, hey, I was dating 10 girls at a time, but you know, your mom kind of stood out amongst all of them, so I went with her.
That's typically how it goes, right? You be with the one that stands out to you the most. That only makes sense. It doesn't matter what the number is, 5, 10, whatever, especially when it comes to guys.
And nowadays we're pressured to entertain multiple people at once just because the other person is doing it. But that should not be the norm, and I think we have the power to change that. To do so, we have to address the problem. And
now let's talk about that real quick, because that's an important conversation to have too. Is if you're dating someone who is entertaining multiple people because y'all haven't, put a label on what it is that y'all are doing yet. If you're dating someone who is entertaining multiple people, you shouldn't feel obligated or pressured to do the same yourself. Like if I'm dating a female that is dating other guys and I'm too busy to do the same thing and date other females, I'll just date her. I'll just date her, and if it doesn't work out between the two of us, it doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. If a female is dating me and I'm dating multiple women and she's only talking to me, look, no pressure on you to date other guys, but just know if it doesn't work out between the two of us, it just doesn't work out.
And unfortunately, I think Caleb became the scapegoat for this problem and people's frustrations. But I think we should go and move beyond him. Let this be a movement where we can move the dating scene into a more positive direction. Let this become
Well, in order for that to really happen, and I agree with what she's saying, but in order for that to truly happen, y'all gonna have to change up some of your requirements in regards to the type of guys that you're interested in. Because all of y'all were so quick to, 6'4". If y'all all going after the same guy, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna be with all of y'all.
Direction. Let this become an advocate for behavior where we respect each other when it comes to dating, and from both genders. And I think we should all just understand that we're all humans with emotions, and no one should ever be treated as option value.
What was that? Okay, she said no one should be treated as an option value. Well, she almost lost that argument right there. She says, me sending a sexy good night pic to my boo thing so he goes to sleep thinking about me. I guess you might as well just go ahead and disregard that last statement she said. Leave y'all thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. Do y'all think Caleb is in the wrong? Or do y'all think these females are in the wrong? What are your thoughts? Y'all know what time it is. Like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. As always, you can follow your boy on the gram and Twitter at Artofkickz, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. See ya.